My beloved brothers and sisters, there is something profoundly powerful about the dua of a mother. When she calls upon Allah on your behalf, it is not just words, it is love turned into supplication, sincerity poured into prayer, and hope wrapped in faith. Many of the blessings you enjoy today may have been written for you because of her whispered pleas in the middle of the night. Her dua can open doors you never knocked on, protect you from dangers you never saw, and elevate you to heights you never dreamed of. To honor her is to honor the very means through which Allah's mercy often reaches you. Treasure that gift, for the dua of a mother can shape a destiny that hard work alone could never achieve. There are moments in life when words are not spoken, yet the heavens hear them. A mother's silent tears shed in the depth of the night or in the corner of her room carry a weight that no one else can truly understand. Those tears are not ordinary, they are laden with love, pain, and deep sincerity. When such tears rise from her heart, they ascend to Allah, and the mercy of the most merciful is drawn towards the child she cries for. A mother's heart knows no limits in prayer for her child. Even when she is hurt by her own struggles, she continues to lift her hands in silence. Her tears flow as if carrying words that she cannot bring to her tongue. This sincerity makes her dua different from any other supplication. Angels bear witness to that pure plea, and Allah in His infinite mercy never lets it go unheard. We sometimes underestimate the impact of those moments when our mothers cry for us. Perhaps we are asleep, unaware, while she is awake, asking Allah to protect us from harm. She may not tell us about those tears, but their blessings appear in our lives in ways we don't even realize. Opportunities, protection, and guidance we never asked for, yet received. Those silent tears become like keys that unlock doors we didn't know were closed. A mother might pray for her child's success, health, or guidance, and when Allah answers, the child may think it's coincidence. But in truth, it is the hidden force of a mother's sincerity at work, soft whispers and wet cheeks carrying power stronger than 1,000 spoken requests. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us about the status of mothers and the importance of treating them with honor. One reason is that their connection to their children is not just emotional, it is spiritual. Her dua can become a shield for her child, deflecting trials that could have destroyed him. Her pain is noticed by Allah in ways beyond human comprehension. Think of the mother who prays for her child's guidance while watching him walk a path of disobedience. She may not have the strength to drag him away from it, but her tears can reach places her hands cannot. Allah, who turns hearts, may respond to her pain by guiding her child back to the straight path. This is the unseen influence of her dua. It is said that when a mother makes dua for her child, the heavens tremble with its sincerity. This is not because of her weakness, but because of her unmatched love and the special place Allah has given her. She does not seek reward for herself. Rather, she pours everything into wishing goodness for her children, even at the expense of her own comfort. When mothers silently weep, those tears are a reflection of their sacrifice. From carrying the child before birth to nurturing him afterward, the struggles never cease. Her tears are often not for herself, but for the child's safety, happiness, and eternal success. Allah in His wisdom honors such selflessness with acceptance of her prayer. Sometimes children feel distant from Allah because of their mistakes, yet unknown to them, their mother's dua pulls them closer. Her words, even unspoken, travel in a straight line to the divine. A mother's connection with her Creator on behalf of her child is like a lifeline, rescuing the child from destruction before he even realizes he is in danger. The quiet tears of a mother are a testimony of her deep faith. She knows her efforts alone cannot protect her child, so she hands the matter over to Allah. That act of surrender makes her dua powerful. It becomes a declaration that the one who controls destiny is the only one who can truly safeguard her children. It is often said that behind many successful individuals lies a mother's dua. That dua may have been uttered years earlier, accompanied by tears no one noticed. Yet those prayers live on, shaping a child's destiny long after the moment they were made. Allah preserves them, responding in ways that unfold at the perfect time. When a mother cries out of worry, it is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. She doesn't allow her pain to turn into despair. Instead, she channels it into dua. And when dua is mixed with tears, it carries a level of sincerity that is unmatched. This is why Allah honors it in ways that astonish us. Even if the child never knows about those tears, their life will always bear the fruits of them. Perhaps they narrowly escape a tragedy, or a door of opportunity opens at just the right time. These are not mere coincidences, they are whispers of mercy carried on the back of a mother's dua, delivered by the will of Allah. A mother's tears are also lessons for her children. When they see her praying with such passion, they learn that faith is not just rituals, but a bond with Allah that penetrates the heart. Her sincerity becomes their silent teacher, showing them what it means to rely completely on the Almighty. At times, a mother cries for her child without him knowing the dangers around him. She may sense something he cannot, or fear trials that he does not recognize. Her foresight, combined with her faith, results in prayers that protect him from what is unseen. Such is the mercy Allah grants through her heart. The strength of her dua does not come from eloquence. A mother's dua may be wordless, only tears flowing down her face, but those tears speak volumes in the court of Allah. He, the all-hearing, understands the depth of her request even when she cannot articulate it. Imagine the angels writing down her plea. They record the sincerity, the pain, the yearning, and the faith. This record becomes a reason for Allah's mercy to descend, sometimes in ways that surprise both the mother and the child. Truly, her dua is a treasure stored for her child's well-being. A mother's silent tears are powerful because they are never selfish. She rarely prays for herself when she weeps. Rather, her heart is consumed with worry for her children. This purity of intention is what makes her dua so beloved to Allah. It is selflessness turned into worship. There are times when a child feels hopeless, but if he knew that his mother's dua is still being whispered for him, he would never despair. Those duas keep him afloat when his own faith is weak. They are like unseen wings that carry him through storms he cannot face alone. When life feels heavy, it is often a mother's prayer that lightens the load. She may cry in secret, but her child walks in public with ease, unaware of the forces protecting him. Those silent tears, unseen by the world, are seen by the Lord of the worlds, and they never go to waste. A mother's dua often outlives her. Long after she has returned to Allah, her prayers continue to echo. Her children reap the blessings of the seeds she planted with her tears. This is why we are reminded to make dua for our parents after their passing, because they never stopped making dua for us when they were alive. When we understand the power of a mother's silent tears, we learn to value her in ways beyond words. Her role is not just to nurture physically, but to protect spiritually. And that protection is ongoing as long as her heart beats and her lips whisper prayers for her children. These tears also show us the special bond between mother and child. Allah placed within her a love so deep that it transforms into constant concern. This bond is unique. It fuels prayers that carry unmatched sincerity. And Allah, in His justice, honors that love with divine response. Sometimes a mother's tears fall because of the mistakes her child makes. She may feel helpless, yet she never gives up on dua. And Allah, who loves those who repent, may grant her request by guiding her child back to faith. Her tears, though painful, become a cause for his salvation. The story of a mother's tears is really a story of mercy. It is Allah's mercy reflected in her heart, then sent back to Him through her supplication. In return, He showers His mercy on the child, completing a cycle of love that begins and ends with Him. For every tear that falls, Allah knows the depth of its meaning. He sees the sacrifice behind it, the love it carries, and the sincerity that fuels it. Such tears are never wasted, for Allah has promised that He responds to the call of the one who calls upon Him. The child who recognizes this blessing will never take his mother's prayers lightly. He will treasure her, respect her, and strive to earn her dua. For he knows that her tears move mountains in the unseen world, creating paths of mercy for him that he cannot walk alone. One of the greatest honors we can give our mothers is to live in a way that brings joy to their hearts. When they are happy, their prayers become even more abundant. And when they cry tears of gratitude rather than worry, those tears too ascend to the heavens with power. A mother's silent tears are a reminder of the importance of gratitude. When we succeed, we must remember that it is not only our effort but her dua that carried us there. Acknowledging this makes us humble, and humility itself invites more blessings from Allah. The tears of a mother are like pearls in the sight of Allah, precious, rare, and treasured. They may be unseen by the world, but they never go unnoticed by the Creator. And for the child, those tears are a shield, a blessing, and a destiny-shaping gift that no wealth in this world can replace. There is something extraordinary about a mother's dua. It is not an ordinary supplication. It carries the weight of love, sacrifice, and sincerity. When she raises her hands for her child, Allah listens in a way that is unique. Her prayer may not be answered in the form she expects, but it never returns empty. Allah stores it, answers it, or redirects it to something even greater. Why is a mother's prayer so powerful? Because it comes from the deepest part of her heart. She prays not for herself, but for the success, safety, and happiness of her child. That selfless sincerity gives her dua a special status. And Allah, who knows the secrets of the heart, never ignores such pure intentions. At times, a mother may pray for her child's guidance, and it seems as though nothing has changed. But behind the scenes, Allah is opening doors, softening hearts, and preparing the path. Her dua is working quietly, waiting for the perfect moment to show its effect. Sometimes the result of a mother's prayer is delayed because Allah knows the right time for it. He may withhold today so He can give tomorrow in a way that is more meaningful. But rest assured, the dua is never lost. It waits like a seed underground until it blossoms at the decree of Allah. A mother's dua may protect her child from harm without him ever realizing it. Perhaps an accident was averted, a harmful friendship dissolved, or a temptation removed. The child may never know what he was saved from, but it was the silent plea of his mother that shielded him. Even if the child strays, a mother's prayer pulls him back. She may not have the strength to stop him with her hands, but her supplication reaches where her words cannot. Allah, who is closer than anyone, responds to her tears and returns her child to the right path when the time is best. We must understand that Allah's wisdom is greater than ours. A mother may ask for something specific, but Allah answers in a better way. Her prayer may not return in the exact shape she imagined, but it returns as goodness sometimes in this world and sometimes stored for the hereafter. There are countless stories of people who achieved greatness not because of their own efforts alone, but because of the dua of their mothers. Scholars, leaders, and ordinary believers often recall how their mothers prayed for them consistently, and those prayers opened doors that hard work alone could not. Her dua also has a unique spiritual weight. When she cries for her child in secret, the angels bear witness. They carry her prayers upward, and Allah honors that sincerity with mercy. This is why we are taught never to take lightly the supplication of a parent. A mother's prayer is also answered because of her sacrifice. She endured pain for her child, cared for him day and night, and gave up her comfort for his. Allah, in His justice, honors her sacrifice by granting power to her supplications. It is important to note that a mother's dua does not return empty even if she never sees the result in her lifetime. Sometimes her prayers continue to benefit her children after her passing. The mercy of Allah extends her requests across generations, blessing her offspring long after she is gone. When we speak of prayers not returning empty, it doesn't always mean visible blessings. It may mean protection from unseen harm, relief from future trials, or blessings in areas we never thought of. Allah knows best where to place the goodness. The strength of a mother's prayer also lies in her consistency. She doesn't just pray once and stop. Her heart constantly turns to Allah for her children, even when they are adults, married, or with children of their own. That ongoing stream of supplication keeps pouring blessings into their lives. A mother's dua is like an invisible shield. You may not see it, but it is always there, guarding against dangers. A believer often forgets how many trials he has been saved from because of the quiet whispers of his mother's prayers. There is a deep lesson here for children. Never underestimate the prayers of your mother. If she prays for you, cherish it. If she cries for you, value it. For her dua has a status that cannot be replaced by anything else. This is why Islam emphasizes being good to one's parents. When you treat your mother with kindness, her heart overflows with prayers for you. And when she prays from a place of joy, those du'as ascend even more beautifully to Allah. Some people complain that their lives are full of ease despite their weak faith. Often it is because their mothers are praying for them. Her dua keeps them afloat, protecting them from consequences they would otherwise face. Such is the mercy of Allah through her. Others achieve success beyond their imagination, and when asked the secret, they say, "It was my mother's dua." She might have woken up in the night, prayed tahajjud, and asked Allah to make her child shine. That one prayer may open a lifetime of opportunities. Even when a mother scolds or worries, behind her words lies a dua. Her love is so strong that she cannot stop asking Allah to bless her child, no matter how frustrated she may be. Those prayers still rise to the heavens, carrying her concern. We often forget that a mother's dua also impacts our spiritual journey. She may ask Allah to make us obedient, to soften our hearts, or to grant us knowledge. Those prayers can plant the seeds of faith that grow steadily throughout our lives. A mother's prayer also builds resilience in her child's life. When challenges come, he finds unexpected strength. That strength is not from himself alone. It is the result of her asking Allah to make him patient and firm in the face of trials. Even when a child feels distant from Allah, his mother's dua continues to call him back. That is why so many people later in life return to their faith, often saying, "It must be my mother's prayers that saved me." Truly, those prayers never return empty. The barakah that comes from her dua is not limited to her child alone. Sometimes it extends to the child's family, work, and community. Her prayer for his goodness spills over, bringing benefit to those around him. Her dua may also be the reason her child avoids destruction. How many calamities have been lifted because of a mother's whispered prayers? How many illnesses avoided? How many dangers diverted? All because she asked Allah with tears in her eyes. This is why the scholars say a mother's dua is like an arrow that never misses. It may take time to reach, but it always strikes its target. It is preserved, carried, and delivered with certainty by the will of Allah. Children who understand this truth live differently. They honor their mothers, seek their du'as, and never take them for granted. They know that her prayer is a treasure greater than wealth, because it is a key to both worldly success and eternal bliss. A mother's dua also teaches us about the mercy of Allah. If He grants such power to the supplication of a human being, imagine the vastness of His mercy Himself. He listens, responds, and honors the pain of a mother with kindness that has no end. Even when life seems dark, a mother's prayer can bring light. It can transform despair into hope, failure into opportunity, and weakness into strength. This is why her dua never returns empty. It always carries goodness, even if unseen. As believers, we should always ask for our mother's prayers. Let them be our shield, our source of blessing, and our connection to Allah's mercy. For when she prays, her words are carried straight to the one who never rejects sincerity. A mother's prayer never returns empty, because it is love in its purest form turned into worship. Allah, who is most loving and most merciful, responds to that love with blessings beyond measure. Her dua is never wasted. It always returns as light, protection, or reward, in this life or the next. Every child will face struggles in life, whether small or overwhelming. Some struggles are physical, others are emotional, and many are spiritual. But Allah never leaves a believer alone in these tests. One of the greatest supports a child has is the dua of a mother, which acts as a bridge connecting their struggle to the boundless mercy of Allah. When a child feels like no one understands their pain, the tears of a mother rise to the heavens. She may not be able to remove the trial, but her prayer carries that struggle to the one who can. And Allah, who responds to the broken-hearted, places mercy in the path of the one being prayed for. Think of a child battling with failure. His efforts seem wasted, his hope drained. Yet, in the silence of the night, his mother whispers his name in dua. That dua becomes a rope, pulling him toward Allah's mercy. It transforms failure into a stepping stone, lifting him closer to his purpose. Sometimes a child struggles with faith itself. Doubts creep in, sins pull heavily, and the road looks dark. At that moment, a mother's dua lights the path. She may not see it instantly, but Allah's mercy begins working behind the scenes, softening hearts, opening doors, and guiding steps back to Him. This bridge of dua is not bound by distance. A mother in one part of the world may be praying while her child is far away, struggling silently. Yet her dua travels faster than any message, reaching the throne of Allah, where mercy is decreed before the child even asks. Struggles often break a child down, but through dua, a mother helps rebuild them. She may pray for patience, for strength, for resilience. And Allah responds by placing hidden courage in the heart of her child, so that what seemed unbearable suddenly becomes manageable. Sometimes, the child doesn't even realize the mercy they are experiencing is because of that dua. They might think they simply got lucky or things worked out, but behind that ease is the unseen bridge of their mother's supplication, carrying their struggle to Allah's mercy. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that parents' prayers for their children are powerful. This shows us that Allah has given parents, especially mothers, a special access to His mercy on behalf of their children. And so a mother's prayer is not just support, it is divine intervention in disguise. Every mother knows she cannot shield her child from all pain, but what she can do is place her child's pain into Allah's hands. That act of surrender is what makes her dua a bridge, transferring the weight of the struggle from the weak shoulders of the child to the infinite mercy of the Creator. Imagine a young man falling into bad company, tempted by wrong choices. His mother may cry out to Allah, asking for His protection. And while the child struggles with those temptations, Allah's mercy begins to shift circumstances, removing certain people, opening better opportunities, and bringing the child back to safety. The beauty of this bridge is that it is built on sincerity. A mother's dua is rarely selfish. She doesn't pray for fame, wealth, or recognition. She prays for safety, guidance, and goodness for her child. And Allah, who loves sincerity, responds to it with mercy that no worldly effort can achieve. There are struggles children never share. They may hide their pain out of fear or pride. But even then, a mother senses something and raises her hands. Her dua fills the silence, carrying what the child cannot express. And Allah answers with healing that only He can provide. Sometimes Allah allows the struggle to continue, but He lessens its weight. A child may still face hardship, but they find unexpected calm, strength or hope. That is the mercy of Allah responding to the dua, transforming the struggle without necessarily removing it. At other times, Allah removes the struggle entirely. A door opens, a solution appears, or a problem dissolves. The child may rejoice, but often forgets that this was the unseen effect of their mother's dua, bridging their pain to Allah's relief. Many successful people recall the du'as of their mothers as the reason for their achievements. They admit that their struggles would have crushed them if not for that hidden support. It was the mercy of Allah delivered through the bridge of dua that lifted them when they thought they would fall. This reminds us that dua is not a small act. It is powerful enough to connect a human's weakness with divine strength. And when that dua comes from a mother for her struggling child, it carries a weight that can transform despair into hope. Even after a mother passes away, her prayers may continue to benefit her children. The bridge she built in her lifetime doesn't collapse. Allah, in His mercy, allows her past du'as to continue pouring blessings upon her children long after she has returned to Him. A child may think their struggle is theirs alone, but Allah has surrounded them with unseen help. The prayers of a mother are part of that protection. They weave a net of mercy, catching the child before they fall too far into despair. When we look at this reality, we realize how much we owe our mothers. Their du'as have saved us more times than we know. They've stood as bridges between our weakest moments and Allah's strongest help. Without them, many struggles would have consumed us completely. But this also carries a reminder. We should never take those prayers for granted. We should strive to honor our mothers, to bring joy to their hearts, so that their du'as rise from a place of love and happiness, carrying even more blessings into our lives. Sometimes a mother's dua becomes the turning point of a child's life. He may have been heading toward destruction, but that one tearful supplication redirected his path. This is how Allah's mercy responds to her, by granting a new beginning where there once was only struggle. Even if the struggle is lifelong, a mother's dua ensures mercy never leaves. The child may live with difficulty, but through Allah's mercy, they find ease in the midst of it, peace in the struggle, and blessings in what others would consider hardship. This teaches us that struggle is not a punishment. Rather, it can be a means of drawing nearer to Allah. And when a mother's dua is added to that struggle, the child is not just enduring hardship, they are being guided, protected, and uplifted by divine mercy. Some of the greatest transformations happen through this bridge. Children who once rebelled became leaders in faith. Those who once felt hopeless found success. And when asked about their journey, they acknowledged the silent prayers of their mothers as the key. This should also inspire children to make dua for themselves. Just as their mothers' supplications build bridges, their own words to Allah add strength to those bridges. Together, their prayers bring down Allah's mercy in ways unimaginable. We must also remember that mothers too have struggles. And when their children pray for them in return, Allah strengthens them as well. This creates a cycle of mercy, mothers praying for children and children praying for mothers, all connecting to Allah's endless compassion. The bridge of dua is proof that Allah's mercy is never far. He has placed in every family someone who carries others in their prayers. That role, often filled by the mother, ensures that no struggle is faced alone and no pain is left unanswered. Children should see their struggles not as signs of abandonment, but as opportunities to witness Allah's mercy. With a mother's prayer as support, those struggles can become doors to blessings they never imagined. A mother's dua reminds us that Allah's mercy flows through human love. He honors the sacrifice of mothers by making their prayers a channel of His help. Through them, a child's weakness finds strength and their struggle finds ease. So the next time you feel weighed down by hardship, remember this: your mother's dua may already be carrying that weight to Allah's mercy. And Allah, who never rejects a sincere prayer, will answer in the best way, at the best time, with the best outcome. Serving your mother is not just an act of kindness, it is an act of worship. Allah has placed immense weight on honoring parents, especially mothers, who endure sacrifice, pain, and sleepless nights for their children. Every act of service to her carries with it a key, unlocking doors of blessings and opportunities that cannot be found anywhere else. When you serve your mother, you are not lowering yourself, but in fact elevating your soul. Humility before her is not humiliation, it is dignity in the sight of Allah. Those moments when you put aside your pride to help her are moments when Allah Himself elevates your rank and opens hidden doors of goodness for you. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the right of the mother 3 times before mentioning the father. This repetition shows how much weight Allah has given to her position. Serving her is not optional. It is an obligation that carries treasures of mercy hidden behind it. Consider the small acts: bringing her water, helping her walk, or listening patiently to her words. You may think these are ordinary actions, but in the sight of Allah they are extraordinary deeds. Every time you serve your mother, Allah plants seeds of barakah in your life that grow in ways you never expected. Sometimes we search for success everywhere through wealth, education, or connections. Yet, one of the most direct doors to success lies in serving your mother. Her contentment with you invites Allah's contentment. And when Allah is pleased with you, hidden doors begin to open. There are countless stories of people who struggled in life only to see blessings flood their way after serving their mothers. Their rizq expanded, their health improved, and their du'as were accepted. Why? Because Allah honors those who honor the one who carried them in her womb. Serving your mother also protects you from trials. The very act of easing her pain becomes a shield around you. You may not even realize how many difficulties Allah has diverted from your path because of the smile you placed on your mother's face. At times you may feel tired or overwhelmed when serving her, but remind yourself, the same mother bore your weight for 9 months, woke countless nights for you, and sacrificed her dreams for your comfort. Your service is not repayment, it is gratitude. The doors of dua open wider when you serve your mother. Her prayers for you, uttered sincerely from a heart that wants nothing but your good, carry immense weight in the heavens. Serving her invites those du'as which in turn bring about Allah's unseen help. Even the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, recognized this. One companion was told that serving his elderly mother would be more rewarding than jihad. Imagine that what many consider the highest sacrifice was equated with caring for one's mother. That is the value of this service. When you serve your mother, you are not only doing good for her, you are building your own future. Because the way you treat your mother today is often how your children will treat you tomorrow. Serving her plants the seeds of respect that will return to you later. This service is not only about physical help. Sometimes all your mother needs is your time, your presence, your patience, sitting with her, listening to her stories, or simply making her feel valued. These acts are also doors that Allah uses to pour blessings into your life. There are times when we neglect our mothers because we are too busy chasing the world. But remember, your mother could be the reason Allah writes ease in your exams, promotions in your work, or barakah in your wealth. The hidden doors of provision often open through her happiness. Serving your mother brings tranquility to your heart. You might serve her thinking you are helping her, but in truth you are helping yourself. Allah places a sweetness in your life, a calm in your soul when you care for the one who cared for you. Every hardship your mother endured for you is a reason you should endure small inconveniences for her. She never complained while raising you, so how can you complain when serving her? Each act of service becomes a step toward Jannah, where the ultimate doors will open. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that Jannah lies beneath the feet of the mother. This means serving her is not just recommended, it is the very path to paradise. The doors of eternal success swing open with every act of kindness shown to her. Sometimes people wonder why their lives feel blocked. They work hard but see no results. One answer may lie in their relationship with their mothers. If you are careless with her, you may unknowingly be closing doors Allah intended to open for you. On the other hand, even small acts can unlock huge blessings. A smile, a kind word, or helping her with simple chores can be the key that opens doors you never knew were locked. Allah accepts small deeds done with sincerity and multiplies their reward. Serving your mother also teaches humility. In a world that constantly pushes us toward arrogance, serving her reminds us of where we came from. It grounds us, reminding us that true greatness lies in serving others, starting with the one who gave us life. There are times when serving your mother feels heavy, especially if she is elderly or unwell. But every difficulty you endure in that service is counted by Allah. Nothing is wasted. Every sigh, every effort is written as a good deed that may be your key to Jannah. When you serve your mother, you are also honoring Allah's command. He paired the worship of Him with kindness to parents in the Quran. This shows us that serving your mother is not just family duty, it is divine obedience. Think of it like this. Your mother's contentment is like a mirror of Allah's contentment. When she smiles because of you, the heavens smile upon you too. And from that smile, doors of mercy, provision, and success are unlocked. There are people who regret not serving their mothers while they had the chance. They realize too late that they missed doors that will never open again. Do not wait for regret. Serve your mother while she is alive, so you may walk through those doors of blessings. Serving your mother also heals your soul. Even if you are struggling with sins, with sadness, or with setbacks, the act of helping her purifies your heart. Allah in His mercy uses that service as a means of forgiving your mistakes and uplifting your spirit. The dua of a mother who is pleased with you is unlike any other. That dua has the power to alter your destiny, to shift difficulties, and to unlock doors you thought were permanently shut. Serving her is the key that brings you those priceless prayers. There is also an unseen protection that comes with serving your mother. Just as her dua shields you, your service shields you from arrogance, from failure, and from the traps of shaitan. Allah's hidden mercy surrounds you because of the love you show her. Serving your mother, even in her silence, brings reward. She may not always express gratitude, but Allah's always watching. And His acknowledgement of your service is greater than any thanks you could receive from the world. Every day you serve your mother, you are writing your own story of success. Not the worldly kind alone, but the eternal kind, the success of gaining Allah's pleasure, the ultimate Jannah, and the eternal doors that open only for those who honored their mothers. Never underestimate a simple act of service. Carrying her groceries, adjusting her pillow, or driving her somewhere, all these acts may appear small, but could be the very reason Allah unlocks massive doors of blessings in your life. So remember this, Serving your mother is not a burden, it is a privilege. It is a bridge to Allah's mercy, a key to hidden opportunities, and a path to paradise. Every time you serve her, you are unlocking a door that brings you closer to Allah and to eternal success. One of the greatest gifts Allah has placed in this world is the dua of a mother. Even when you are far away, living your own life, or walking through challenges she cannot see, her heartfelt supplication travels beyond distance and time. It follows you like a shield, protecting you when you least expect it. A mother's dua is unique because it is made with a love that asks nothing in return. It is born from sincerity, from sleepless nights, and from the silent sacrifices she endured while raising you. That sincerity carries weight in the heavens, bringing you protection even in places you never knew danger existed. Imagine driving on a road, unaware of what could happen ahead. Yet, your mother at home whispered, "Ya Allah, keep my child safe." That prayer could be the very reason you pass unharmed, even when others face difficulties. Her dua surrounds you like a fortress, even though she is not physically beside you. The power of her dua does not rely on her presence, nor on whether you hear it. Many times she prays for you silently, while folding clothes, while cooking, or while lying down at night. Those prayers rise straight to Allah, carrying your name, bringing mercy to places where you stand unaware. A mother's dua protects your faith. When you face temptations, when you are on the verge of making mistakes, her supplication may be the unseen rope that pulls you back. You might think it was your own strength, but in reality, it was Allah's mercy responding to her prayers for your guidance. This protection works even across continents. You could be oceans away, yet her voice lifted in dua bridges the distance instantly. It reaches Allah, and His protection is placed over you no matter how far you are from her. No barrier of time or space weakens that shield. Her dua also protects your wealth, your work, and your health. You may invest in business, study hard, or build a family, but it is often her whispered prayers that keep your earnings pure, your efforts fruitful, and your loved ones safe. Her prayer reaches where your own effort cannot. Sometimes her dua protects you from things you will never even know about. Calamities are diverted, accidents prevented, diseases healed, all without your awareness. While you walk confidently forward, her supplication to Allah is silently moving obstacles out of your path. Even if you fall ill or face hardship, her dua softens the trial. It could be the reason your healing comes faster or your burden feels lighter. The dua does not always erase the test, but it ensures you are never abandoned in it. A mother's dua also protects you in your absence from her life. Perhaps you have not visited her. Perhaps you are too busy, yet she still prays for you. This is the selfless nature of her love. It does not depend on your presence or on what you give back. When you travel, her dua becomes your companion. No matter how long the journey or how uncertain the destination, her prayers for your safety and success accompany every step. They open doors at borders, ease interactions with strangers, and guide you home safely. Even when she does not see your struggles, Allah allows her heart to sense what to pray for. She may not know the details, but she calls out, "Oh Allah, make things easy for my child." And that general dua becomes the solution to specific problems in your life. Many times when you feel protected without reason, it is because her dua is covering you. You may not deserve it, you may not have even asked for it, but her supplication is honored by Allah because of her sincerity and the weight of her motherhood. This protection continues even when you are spiritually weak, when you are far from Allah, when your own lips forget to pray, her lips still move in dua for you. That prayer could be the rope that brings you back to your Lord when you thought you were lost. Her dua is not limited to safety. It also nurtures your rizq, the food you eat, the opportunities you find, the unexpected help that reaches you. These may all be answers to her supplications. She asks Allah for your ease, and He grants barakah in ways you cannot measure. When people plot against you, her dua becomes your defense. Words spoken behind your back are rendered powerless. Traps set for you collapse, and harm intended for you is turned away. Her dua is often the invisible reason for your victories against unseen enemies. This protection also extends to your family. When a mother prays for her child, that prayer often covers the spouse, the grandchildren, and generations to come. Her dua plants seeds of mercy that blossom long after she is gone. Serving your mother increases the strength of her dua. When she is pleased with you, her prayers flow more sincerely, more joyfully, and Allah responds to them even faster. Her contentment with you is a door to blessings that never close. Even if your mother has passed away, the dua she made for you in her lifetime continues to protect you. Allah does not let sincere supplications vanish. They remain as light on your path, helping you even when she is no longer in this world. Reflect on how merciful Allah is that He placed someone in your life whose prayers are honored uniquely. The dua of a mother is different from others. It carries a sincerity that is difficult to match, and this becomes your shield even when you are absent from her. Many people have testified that their greatest successes were not because of their efforts, but because of their mother's du'as. Exams were passed, debts were cleared, marriages were blessed, all linked back to the prayers of a mother who called upon Allah sincerely. Sometimes Allah delays the effect of her dua, only to protect you later at a crucial time. What she asked years ago may unfold today in your life. The unseen shield is stored until the moment you need it most. Her dua also protects your reputation. In a world where rumors and false accusations spread quickly, it is often her supplication that shields your honor. She asks Allah to guard you, and He places dignity in the hearts of people toward you. Even when you are asleep, her dua works. She may pray while you rest, and that prayer protects you through the night. You wake refreshed, not realizing the unseen mercy that wrapped around you while you slept. Her dua also protects you from despair. When you are close to giving up, Allah may send you hope, solutions, or unexpected kindness because of her supplication. She may never know you were on the verge of breaking, but her prayer became your rescue. This protection is not just temporary. It extends into your hereafter. Her dua for your forgiveness and guidance could be the reason Allah grants you shade on the day of judgment, or mercy when you need it most. Your mother's dua is like a cloak you wear unknowingly. Wherever you go, it covers you, shielding you from what could harm your heart, your body, or your soul. Without it, you may realize how vulnerable life truly is. We must never take this protection for granted. Many people only realize the value of their mother's prayers after she is gone. By then, they recognize the shield they once had and long for it to return. Serve your mother now, so her du'as flow continuously for you. Even if you achieve great things in life, always remember the foundation beneath them may be your mother's prayer. Your efforts matter, yes, but without her dua, many doors may have remained closed. Her absence would have left you exposed. So never underestimate the dua of your mother. It is your shield when you are far, your protection when you are unaware, and your blessing when you are unworthy. Thank Allah for it, honor your mother for it, and live in gratitude for this priceless gift that safeguards you even in your absence. Throughout history and across generations, destinies have been shaped not only by effort and hard work, but also by the hands of a mother lifted in prayer. Her raised palms, moist with tears and trembling with sincerity, have written chapters in the unseen that no pen could ever record. A mother does not always realize the magnitude of her dua. She prays out of love, desperation, and hope, and Allah responds in ways beyond imagination. What begins as a whispered plea in the stillness of night becomes a decree in the heavens that alters the entire course of her child's future. One of the most powerful stories we often reflect on is how many scholars, leaders and righteous servants of Allah were born from the dua of a mother. When no one believed in their potential, their mothers did. They cried before Allah and their prayers were answered with greatness in their children. Consider the well-known scholars of Islam whose mothers dedicated nights in prayer, asking Allah to make their sons carriers of knowledge. Their legacy of guidance today is not just a result of their studies, but of the heartfelt du'as that preceded their birth and accompanied their childhood. Even in ordinary homes, mothers shape destinies silently. The child who succeeds in business, the daughter who grows in faith, the son who rises in leadership, all carry the unseen imprint of their mother's raised hands. Their success is not random, it is the fruit of those prayers. A mother may see her child struggling and think she is powerless, yet the most powerful thing she can do is to raise her hands to Allah. At that moment, she is not powerless. She is stronger than kings, richer than nations, because she is connected directly to the creator of all destiny. There are countless stories of people who testify, my mother's dua saved me. They survived accidents, illnesses and failures they could not explain, only to realize their mother was praying for them at that exact time. The timing was too perfect to be coincidence. It was destiny shaped by dua. Some mothers pray silently for their children's marriages, careers and futures. Those silent supplications open doors the children never dreamed of. The spouse they meet, the job they receive, the blessing they find, all of it often traces back to a mother's unseen prayer. Destiny is not always shaped by what a child asks for, but by what a mother prays for them without their knowledge. While the child is careless, Allah honors the mother's care. While the child forgets Allah, Allah remembers the mother's sincerity and grants protection. A mother's dua is so honored that even when her child drifts away from faith, Allah may bring them back. How many have repented after years of sin, saying, it must have been my mother's prayers. That return was not an accident, it was her dua reaching the heavens. One of the most moving realities is that a mother's dua can change what seems written. Qadr belongs to Allah, but He allows dua to transform circumstances. The illness thought incurable, the hardship thought permanent, all may vanish when her hands rise with sincerity. Even when a mother is uneducated or knows little of the world, her dua gives her child what books and teachers cannot. She may not understand the systems of success, but her prayer unlocks doors in ways no worldly qualification could. There are stories of children born into poverty who later achieved greatness. When asked the secret, they replied, my mother never stopped praying for me. Wealth did not come from their environment, it came from the barakah of her du'as. Sometimes mothers pray for things their children cannot see yet. She may pray for her son's strength when he is still weak, or her daughter's guidance while she is still rebellious. Those prayers are investments into a future that eventually unfolds exactly as she asked. We cannot count how many calamities were averted by a mother's prayer. The accident that never happened, the disease that was healed, the danger that disappeared, all because her hands rose in surrender to Allah, asking Him to guard her child. A mother's dua shapes not only worldly destiny but eternal destiny. She prays for her child's forgiveness, for their place in Jannah, for their eternal safety. These are prayers that follow the child beyond the grave, reaching into their hereafter. When a child succeeds, they should remember it is rarely their effort alone. Behind their achievements are the hands of a mother raised in prayer, sometimes for years before the success appeared. Gratitude to her becomes gratitude to Allah for honoring her dua. There are instances where people were saved from the traps of enemies purely because of their mother's prayers. Her dua was a shield they did not even realize they carried. Without it, they would have been destroyed. With it, they walked unharmed. Some destinies are so clearly shaped by a mother's dua that even the child admits, I could not have done this alone. Whether it was memorizing Quran, excelling in studies, or overcoming addiction, it was her voice crying to Allah that turned impossibility into reality. The beauty is that Allah never lets a sincere mother's dua go unheard. It may be delayed, it may appear differently, but it is always honored. Sometimes the child sees the result immediately, and sometimes only years later when they finally realize the source of their blessings. There are also stories where mothers prayed for their children to serve the deen, and Allah answered in remarkable ways. Children who once had no direction became leaders of guidance, all because their mothers asked Allah to use them for His sake. When you reflect on these stories, you realize that a mother's dua is not just about her child, it is about generations. The prayer she makes today may echo in her grandchildren, shaping family lines with guidance and blessing. Even when a mother is physically weak, her dua makes her spiritually powerful. She may be bedridden, unable to move, yet when she lifts her hands, her prayer moves the heavens. That is the strength Allah grants to mothers in their love for their children. Some people realize only after losing their mother how much her du'as shaped their lives. Suddenly, the protection feels lighter, the blessings fewer, and they recognize the silent power that had been carrying them all along. These stories should remind us never to underestimate the raised hands of a mother. What seems like a simple act, lifting her palms and whispering to Allah, is in reality one of the most powerful forces shaping our destinies. Children who honor their mothers benefit even more from her dua. Her prayers flow with joy when she is pleased with them, and Allah responds with even greater speed. Pleasing your mother is therefore directly tied to shaping your own future. Sometimes, even in her absence, the echoes of her past prayers continue to shape a child's path. What she asked for years ago remains alive as Allah's mercy unfolds it at the right moment. Her dua is timeless in its impact. The most remarkable stories are not just about survival, but about transformation. People who were destined for destruction were lifted to honor solely because their mothers begged Allah to change their fate. That is how destiny is rewritten by dua. Reflecting on these stories should humble every child. Behind their every blessing may be a mother's prayer. Behind their every victory may be her raised hands. Behind their every miracle may be her tears whispered into the night. So, let us never take lightly the dua of a mother. Her hands raised may be the reason you are alive, the reason you are blessed, and the reason your future is secure. Stories of destiny shaped by her prayers remind us, appreciate her, serve her, and thank Allah for her always. There are many voices raised in this world, some filled with anger, some filled with hope, and some filled with despair. Yet there is one voice that Allah never turns away, and that is the voice of a mother who calls upon Him for her child. Her supplication carries a weight that shakes the heavens. When a mother raises her voice in dua, it is not mere sound, it is love transformed into prayer, pain poured into words, and hope released into the unseen. Allah, in His infinite mercy, honors that voice by granting it an acceptance unlike any other. Why is the mother's voice so powerful in supplication? Because it comes from sincerity unmatched by any relationship on earth. Her concern is not for wealth, status, or gain, but purely for the well-being, protection, and success of her child. Such sincerity is never rejected by Allah. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, reminded us of the value of parents, especially mothers, he was pointing to this truth that their du'as can uplift, protect, and transform. It is as though Allah has given mothers a special access point to His mercy on behalf of their children. Imagine a mother in the depth of the night whispering her child's name in her prayer. No one hears her, not even the child for whom she prays, but Allah hears every syllable, every tremble in her voice, and every tear that accompanies it. The honor Allah gives to a mother's supplication can be seen in the countless miracles tied to it. Children are saved from accidents, guided from misguidance, and elevated from hardship, all when their mothers' voices rose in dua. There are times when a child may not even ask Allah for something, but the mother does on their behalf. Her voice echoes in the heavens, and Allah grants the child what they never thought to seek. That is the honor of her prayer. Even when a mother is distressed with her child, her words have power. That is why Islam teaches children to be extremely careful never to hurt their mothers, for her voice raised in frustration could shape their destiny. The stories of righteous mothers remind us how Allah honored their voices. Maryam's mother prayed for her child before she was even born, and Allah accepted her supplication, granting Maryam a place of honor and Isa, peace be upon him, as her son. So often, children assume their success is only due to their effort. But behind their progress is often the hidden voice of their mother, asking Allah repeatedly to grant them strength and open doors. Allah honors her voice by turning those pleas into reality. When a mother prays for her child's protection, Allah assigns angels to shield them. That is not a poetic image, but a truth. Unseen forces move at the command of Allah to respond to the voice of her dua. Many people can testify that when they survived difficult times, it was later revealed their mother had been praying for them at that very moment. The alignment is no accident. It is Allah honoring the voice of her supplication. There is a unique sweetness in a mother's dua because it is not self-centered. She asks not for herself, but for someone else to be blessed. This selflessness gives her words even more weight in the sight of Allah. Sometimes a mother's dua may not be answered in the way she imagines, but it is always honored. Allah may delay it for the best time, or grant something even greater than what she asked. Yet never does her voice go unheard. Allah honors a mother's voice by turning her whispers into shields, her tears into blessings, and her words into decrees written in the unseen. That is why a child can walk into situations where success seems impossible, yet emerge victorious because their mother's dua carried them. One of the most moving things is that even when a child strays far from Allah, the mother's voice follows them. Her dua may become the rope that pulls them back to guidance when they least expect it. The honor of a mother's supplication is also seen in how her duas outlive her. Even after she passes away, the prayers she made in life continue to bring blessings to her children, unfolding in ways they only realize much later. A mother's voice in dua can soften what seems hard. The closed door begins to open, the hopeless situation begins to shift, and the heavy heart begins to heal, all because Allah honored her prayer. We must reflect, when Allah grants such power to a mother's voice, how much more should we honor her in our daily lives? To disregard her is to disregard a means through which Allah sends us mercy. The voice of a mother's dua carries not only requests, but trust. She places her child in the care of Allah, acknowledging her own limitations. And Allah in His majesty responds by guarding the child with His limitless power. It is often said that behind every successful person is a praying mother. But more accurately, behind every guided soul, every protected heart, and every blessed future, there is a mother's voice Allah chose to honor. There are times when the child does not deserve success, but Allah grants it anyway because of the mother's prayers. That is how her voice can intercede for her child in this world, a reflection of the mercy Allah places in her heart. Children may not always know what their mothers pray for them, but they walk in the blessings of those prayers daily. The health, opportunities and safety they enjoy are often answers to du'as they never heard, but Allah did. The power of this voice is so immense that it should encourage every child to seek their mother's du'a. Ask her to pray for you, for her voice carries an honor with Allah that your own may not yet carry. Mothers who pray should never belittle their dua. even if they see no immediate results. Allah has promised to honor them. The timing belongs to Him, but the acceptance is guaranteed by His mercy. This truth is not confined to extraordinary women. It applies to every mother who calls upon Allah with sincerity, whether she is rich or poor, educated or uneducated. Her voice in supplication is honored equally. Think of how many disasters may have been avoided in your life without you even knowing. Averted accidents, unseen dangers, hidden harms, all because Allah heard your mother's dua and moved them away from your path. When Allah honors a mother's voice, it is not just for her child's benefit, but for generations to come. Her dua can plant seeds of guidance that flourish in her grandchildren and beyond, extending her impact far into the future. We must never forget that honoring our mothers includes honoring their du'as. When she raises her voice for us, we should raise ours for her, asking Allah to have mercy upon her as she had mercy upon us when we were young. The voice of a mother's supplication is one of the most sacred sounds in this world. It is a melody of love, faith and sincerity that Allah Himself has chosen to honor. And when He honors it, destinies change, hearts heal, and miracles unfold. When we speak about gratitude, most people immediately think of thanking Allah. And indeed, He is the one most deserving of our thanks. But do we realize that Allah has directly connected gratitude to Him with gratitude to our parents, especially the mother? Turning gratitude toward your mother is not just manners, it is an act that opens the gates of divine favor. The Quran reminds us, be grateful to me and to your parents. To me is the final return. This is not a casual instruction. It is a divine reminder that your path to Allah's blessings is tied to how you honor and appreciate the woman who carried you, fed you, and sacrificed for you. When a child genuinely expresses gratitude to their mother, not just through words, but through respect, service, and love, Allah looks upon that act with mercy. That gratitude becomes a form of worship that attracts divine reward beyond what we can imagine. Many people wonder why their lives feel blocked, why opportunities are scarce, and why peace feels distant. Sometimes the answer lies in a neglected mother, a forgotten duty of gratitude. For how can we expect Allah's favor while ignoring the one He commanded us to honor? Gratitude to a mother is not about grand gestures. It is about the sincerity of the heart, the softness of speech, and the readiness to serve. It is about calling her, checking on her, and ensuring she never feels abandoned. Each act of gratitude is written by Allah as a means of gaining His favor. When you kiss your mother's hand, Allah raises your rank. When you speak to her gently, Allah protects you from harm. When you thank her for her sacrifices, Allah multiplies your sustenance. This is the spiritual transaction that happens when gratitude is turned toward one's mother. Even when your mother has little, appreciating her brings immense blessings. A meal cooked by her hands becomes more nourishing than a feast elsewhere. A dua made by her lips becomes a shield stronger than any worldly safeguard. Gratitude multiplies her impact upon your life. It is said that one of the easiest ways to attract Allah's mercy is to look at your mother with love. The Prophet, peace be upon him, reminded us that even this gaze is an act of worship. Why? Because it is gratitude translated into the eyes, and Allah loves gratitude in every form. Gratitude is not only expressed while she is alive. If she has passed away, gratitude continues by making dua for her, giving charity on her behalf, and living in a way that honors her teachings. Such gratitude reaches her soul and simultaneously brings Allah's favor upon you. How many people regret only after their mothers have gone? They realize too late that gratitude could have opened doors for them in this world and stored treasures for them in the next. Let us not wait for that regret. Gratitude must be alive while our mothers are alive. Turning gratitude to your mother is not seasonal. It is not confined to one day of the year. It is a lifelong commitment. For every breath we take is tied to her sacrifice. and every blessing we enjoy is tied to the womb that carried us. Gratitude is not only in material things. Some children think buying gifts is enough, but what their mothers truly desire is time, attention and love. To sit with her, to listen to her, to value her words. This is gratitude that Allah rewards abundantly. There is a hidden link between gratitude to your mother and the easing of your hardships. When you make her heart smile, Allah makes your difficulties lighter. When you wipe her tears, Allah wipes away your sins. When you honor her, Allah honors you. A person once asked how they could earn Jannah quickly. The answer given by scholars was simple. Serve your mother with gratitude. For every step you take in her service, Allah raises you closer to His paradise. Gratitude is not only about what you do in front of her, but also how you speak of her behind her back. Do you honor her name in gatherings? Do you pray for her privately? This hidden gratitude also brings divine favor. Even if your mother is not perfect, and no human being is, your gratitude remains due. Her imperfections do not erase her sacrifices. By showing gratitude, you not only earn Allah's pleasure, but also soften her heart and perhaps guide her to greater righteousness. Gratitude to your mother should be passed to your children as well. When they see you serving their grandmother, they learn to value their own parents. Thus, your gratitude becomes a chain of goodness that carries divine blessings across generations. The Prophet, peace be upon him, once reminded us that paradise lies beneath the feet of mothers. Gratitude is the path that brings us nearer to those feet and by extension nearer to paradise itself. There is something unique about the dua of a grateful child for their mother. It ascends to Allah swiftly, for it comes from a place of sincerity and love. And Allah rewards both the mother and the child for their bond of gratitude. Gratitude is not only in comfort, it must be present in difficulty too. Even if life is challenging, even if your relationship has moments of strain, gratitude remains a duty. That patience and gratitude attract Allah's unseen help. How often do we remember to thank our mothers for small things, for the meals cooked, the advice given, the prayers whispered? Each expression of thanks strengthens the bond, and Allah increases the barakah in your life as a result. One of the tragedies of modern times is that many people shower gratitude on strangers and celebrities, but forget the woman who gave them life. Real gratitude begins at home with the one whose sacrifices are unmatched. Gratitude must also be expressed in financial support if needed. To spend on your mother is not a burden but a blessing. Every coin spent on her brings multiplied reward, for it is an act of gratitude that Allah Himself values highly. The Quran tells us not even to say oof to our parents, especially our mothers. If avoiding annoyance is rewarded, imagine the blessings of actively showing gratitude. The scale of Allah's mercy tilts heavily in favor of the grateful. A grateful child does not wait for their mother to ask. They anticipate her needs, fulfill her wishes, and ease her burdens. This proactive gratitude is beloved to Allah, for it mirrors true sincerity. Allah promises that when you are grateful, He increases you. Gratitude to your mother is part of that promise. The more you thank her, serve her, and honor her, the more Allah increases your provisions, health and opportunities. Even if your mother is weak, elderly or unable to do much, her presence is a blessing. Gratitude for her presence alone invites divine favor. Many realize the magnitude of this only after she is gone. There are people whose entire lives turned around simply by seeking their mother's forgiveness and showing her gratitude, from poverty to wealth, from sadness to joy, from confusion to clarity, all because they turned to their mothers with humble thanks. Gratitude to your mother is ultimately gratitude to Allah, for she was His gift to you. By thanking her, you are thanking the one who chose her for you. That acknowledgement brings divine favor into your life in ways you cannot measure. So let us renew our gratitude today. Call your mother, visit her, serve her, thank her, and pray for her. In every act of gratitude to her, Allah places His favor upon you. For truly, the path to His mercy often begins with the word thank you directed at your mother. My brothers and sisters, never overlook the quiet power of your mother's dua. It is often unseen, yet it shapes your life in ways you cannot imagine. If you want those prayers to continue reaching the heavens with acceptance, then honor her, serve her, and soften your heart towards her. A mother's love is one of Allah's greatest gifts, and her supplication is among the most sincere forms of intercession you will ever receive in this world. Remember, when you please her, you invite the pleasure of Allah, and when she raises her hands for you, doors of mercy and blessings open that no human effort alone could unlock. Value this treasure, and you will find barakah flowing through every step of your journey.